So episode 2 of Class in the Elite has come out, and man, what an episode that was. Now, there is a few things I need to mention before we start this video, is that I know a lot of people might be wondering as to where is the episode 1 analysis video, and to that I answer is that I did make one, but it got copyright claimed, and when it got copyright claimed, it was actually blocked, so nobody could even see the video. And I tried so many things to fix that. I tried adding clips, different kind of clips, but that didn't work. I tried removing the clips that were giving me the copyright claims, but that also didn't work. And unfortunately, I tried so many things and I just pretty much gave up. I didn't have any more intention to bring that video up, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I tried so many things to fix these copyright claims, but I just couldn't do anything. So I think from now on, when I'm discussing these Class from the Elite episodes, I may just use stills. With that being said, I may use a couple of clips. Who really knows? I may just use a few clips, but for the majority, I may just have to use stills. So with that out of the way, just wanted to clear that up because I know some people may be asking, where's the episode 1 analysis video? Because you're making a episode 2 analysis video. I did make one. It was up for a while and then it just got blocked because of copyright. So I hope that answers some people's question as to where is the episode 1 analysis video. So with that out of the way, let's just begin. So episode 2 starts with a scene that involves Ayanokoji and Yukimura. Now they're discussing about the test, but also in that room is Hirata and Koenji. Now it seems that Hirata is talking to Koenji about the test, but it's very clear from Koenji's expressions that he has no interest in the test whatsoever. In fact, he actually does something to end his group's exam. He does a few things with his phone. Pretty much, I think what is happening is that he is naming the VIP of his group, and once that happens, I think once he press send, there's a notification that Ayanokoji and Yukimura and the rest get that shows that his group, Koenji's group, has been finished. Like, they can't proceed with the test because Koenji gave an answer as to who the VIP might be. And everyone was shocked that Koenji did this, but it's very clear that Koenji didn't seem bothered by this because it was clear from the start that Koenji had no interest in the test and he just wanted to do whatever he wanted. And that is the first scene we see in episode 2. So after the intro to the series, we get another scene which is, I think it's anime original, because it's Ayanokoji laying in bed messaging Horikita, in which you can clearly tell Horikita is not happy that Koenji finished his group's exam. And Horikita asks a demand to Ayanokoji that even he found it impossible, and it's that why didn't he stop Koenji from doing that, which Ayanokoji clearly states that that's an impossible task. Like, Koenji is a type of person that does whatever he wants and nobody can stop him, not even Ayanokoji. And the next scene is when Horikita and Ayanokoji meet up, to which they're discussing about the test, and Ayanokoji brings up K. Now Horikita has no idea as to why he's bringing up K in the first place, but Ayanokoji explains how K's been acting very differently during this exam than how she acts in school, to which Horikita says that if he thinks that she is a VIP. Ayanokoji says that's part of the reason why he believes she's acting weird, but it's very clear to Ayanokoji that something else is happening with her as to why she's acting so differently. And then he later on goes on to say that this might be K's other side to her personality. Maybe that whole tough act that she's putting up is just a mask to hide her true personality, something that he could relate to because he's also not being who he truly is. However, their conversation gets interrupted when Ryuen once again shows up to talk to Horikita, in which Ryuen asks Horikita how is the test going. Horikita obviously doesn't want to talk to him about that, and Ryuen just simply says with full confidence that Class C will win this test. When Horikita asks how, Ryuen says that all he has to do is find out who that VIPs is from Class C, in which Horikita responds saying that if that is impossible, because there might be a chance that they're not going to tell him because they probably don't like him. To which Ryuen responds saying that no, he's going to find out because he's going to demand everybody from Class C to give their phones to him to see who got the email. Something that Horikita was surprised and even tells Ryuen that if he was ever caught, he could get expelled, but Ryuen says that nobody's going to find out because nobody's going to say anything, clearly showing that Ryuen is capable of breaking the rules in order to win. And besides, Ryuen also states how these tests also has loopholes and also has some logic behind it as to why these tests exist, something that Horikita finds impossible, but Ayanokoji disagrees. It's very clear that Ayanokoji has the same thinking as Ryuen. These tests clearly have some loopholes, and once you find those loopholes and logic behind the test, you can easily pass the test. That is something that clearly Ayanokoji has realized when he takes these special exams. And towards the end of the conversation, Ryuen makes Horikita an offer saying that if they work together and exchange information, they could take down Class A, something that Horikita refuses to do because, well, I mean, Ryuen is kind of a person that you shouldn't really trust too often because he may do something else. Once Horikita declines his offer, Ryuen just simply walks away. Then the next scene, we get the K in the shower scene once again, but this time we actually get dialogue. Now, in my cut content video, which I did make a video talking about the cut content of Class from the Elite, I mentioned how there was supposed to be dialogue in the shower scene with K, in which she simply says that she has to, somehow be able to survive in this school and make sure that she is protected, because as Kei says in this scene is that, she doesn't need friends, she doesn't need social life, all she needs to do is protect herself, and that she's a parasite and needs someone else to protect her, clearly showing that Kei even herself has admitted that she is a parasite, that she's powerless without anybody else's help. We then jump back to the scene where Ayanokoji and Horikita are meeting, and it seems that Horikita has finished his discussion with Ayanokoji as she tells him to leave because she doesn't want to be seen as couples, to which Ayanokoji responds saying that he was the one who was told to come here, to which Horikita just simply says to just simply leave. So yeah, it's just another case of Horikita just being Horikita. So Ayanokoji leaves, and once he's walking back to wherever he's going to go, sees Kushida. Now Kushida and Ayanokoji interactions aren't very that interesting. All they just simply say is hi and that he's going to go back to his room. But it seems that as Ayanokoji is walking, Kushida for some reason hugs him. Now Ayanokoji was kind of surprised. Well, he doesn't show it in his face, but he says it later on that he was surprised that Kushida hugged him, to which Kushida just said that she saw a bunch of couples and she got scared, so that's why she hugged Ayanokoji. Pretty weird reason as to hug someone, but okay. But what's interesting about this scene is that when Kushida was hugging him, Ayanokoji heard a door open or close, whatever the case may be, and he could already establish that someone else was here as well, that someone might have been talking to Kushida about something. Then get a scene with the teachers, which is class A's, class B's, and class D's teachers. Now the conversations are just pretty much sounding as if they know each other for a while, so they're just keeping up to date as to what's going on. But one thing that was interesting was when class D's teacher Chabashira tells class B teacher as to why Ichinose is not in the Earth group, as in most cases the Earth group has always the class representative. And class B's teacher just simply says that this is just a part of class B's strategy, something that which Chabashi doesn't really believe. There's clearly something else going on. But before anything else could happen, class B's teacher also tells Chabashira that she seems to be really interested as to why Chabashira is paying close attention to Ayanokoji. Of course, we know why, but the rest don't know either. So it's very clear that these two are paying close attention to each other, and there's a reason as to why that may be the case. They mentioned an event that happened 10 years ago, to which class B's teacher just says that's water under the bridge. So does this event have to do something with the relationship as to why it is what it is right now? Who really knows? We just have to wait and see what happens next with this. The next thing is when Ayanokoji is heading towards his room, to which he hears a conversation between Kei and Hirata. Kei is asking Hirata for help, to which Hirata says that he is willing to help, it's just that he's not going to resort to violence, which is pretty much indicating that Kei asks help to Hirata about Manabe, but it seems that she wanted Hirata to do something physically with these girls, which, I mean, knowing Hirata's character, I'm pretty sure he wasn't going to do that even if Kei asked him to do it. Which Kei responds to Hirata saying how, he told her that he was going to protect her, and Hirata said that yeah, he's been doing everything he can to protect her. I mean, he's trying his best to protect her even though they are not a real couple, which is pretty much the big reveal of this episode. We find out that Hirata and Kei's relationship is actually fake, which caught interest to Ayanokoji because he was hearing the entire time. He was like, I believe, in the corner of a wall hearing this whole conversation. So yeah, we find out that Hirata and Kei's relationship is fake. Hirata says how he's been trying to do his best in protecting her, but it seems that now it's very clear that Kei has to do something else to protect herself. And then Kei just flips out. She gets angry at him, calls him a liar, and I really love the voice actor of Kei who is doing this, because you can clearly tell that it sounds very convincing that Kei is mad, she's just angry, she's just frustrated with Hirata. And I did some research as to who Kei's voice actor is, and apparently Kei's voice actor is the same voice actor that played Nino in Quintessential Quintuplets, another series that I enjoy, and Nino was my favorite character in the series. So when I heard Kei's voice in here, I kind of remember that there was another character that sounded very similar to her, and I find out that they both have the same voice actors. So yeah, just something that I wanted to mention. So after Kei leaves, Hirata decides to stay a little longer, to which Ayanokoji decides to reveal himself. Hirata was kind of surprised that Ayanokoji showed up out of nowhere, but it's very clear to Hirata that Ayanokoji heard the conversation. He asks Ayanokoji, did he hear it? And he's like, he heard it more or less, being very vague, but it's very clear that he did hear the entire conversation. Ayanokoji asks Hirata as to why he accepted that in the first place, why he agreed to be a fake boyfriend for Kei, to which Hirata says how he just simply wanted to help Kei out. Ayanokoji says how Kei's been acting similar to like a parasite or somebody who needs protection of others, to which Hirata explains that yeah, Kei needs protection because because of something that happened before entering high school, in which he reveals that Kei dealt with a serious case of bullying. Ayanokoji just simply listens, but you can tell that he is gathering intel, and who knows, maybe he might be doing something about this with this intel. Next scene reveals Ayanokoji in the room where all the other class is supposed to meet in order to talk about the exam, and he's the first one there, and the other person who comes after him is Kei. Kei seems uninterested at first, but just for whatever reason decides to ask Ayanokoji if he is a VIP. Ayanokoji responds by saying no, to which Kei just accepts that and just moves on. Ayanokoji questions her, saying that does she really believe everything he's saying right now, to which Kei responds saying why not. But before anything else can happen, the other people start to show up and they decide to continue with the special exam. Now there's a montage as to showing, how many conferences they have had, and it's very clear there's been no progress. Class A is keeping to themselves, and it's very clear that Class A strategy seems to be working effectively. However, one interesting thing that happened in this scene was the fact that Ayanokoji saw Kei being next to around the Class A kid that helped her during the whole, confrontation between Kei and Manabe, which clearly proves that Kei needs protection from whoever is available. Like, whenever someone tries to protect her, she's always going to cling on to that person because she believes that that person will be the one to protect her almost every single time. However, once the conference ended, Kei was about to leave and meet up with whoever, to which Manabe's group decides to follow her. And at that point, quickly Ayanokoji and Yukimura see this, to which Ayanokoji suggests that they should probably follow them, to which Yukimura agrees, but of course it's very clear that he did not want to deal with this because he's more worried about the test than anything else. They follow Kei and Manabe's group to see where they're gonna go, and it's very clear that Manabe's group intervened and put Kei in some room. Ayanokoji and Yukimura follow and see what's going on, to which they see that the girls are bullying Kei. And it's very clear and it's already established that this group is just using whatever they're doing, the excuse that, oh, Kei picked on one of their friends from their group, as an excuse to bully Kei. And this is where we get to see Kei's true personality. We see somebody who is actually weak, someone who clearly can't protect themselves no matter what, and someone that clearly just needs other people to protect her because she can't protect herself. And I think this scene was very disturbing to see, because you could just see Kei's face, how she's terrified, how she wants this bullying to end. And Yukimura was about to intervene, but Ayanokoji stops him, saying that they need to wait a little longer, something that Yukimura was surprised by hearing from Ayanokoji, that he wanted to wait. But it's very clear as to why Ayanokoji is waiting, because he wanted to gather more intel. He wanted to see Kei's true personality because he knows that he might be able to use her in the near future, which it kind of foreshadows as to what's to come next between Ayanokoji and Kei. But we'll leave it at that because that's where the episode ends. So yeah, overall, pretty good episode. I did enjoy everything. Now, I think the issues that I did have was in terms of the animation. There were moments where you can clearly tell that the animation was kind of, feeling a little bit choppy. It was kind of a little bit rushed. So that's just one of the issues I have, which I hope this is the only episode we get to see that, because yeah, the animation wasn't the greatest, but overall, I think the episode was still great. I think this was more still like a setup episode, like episode 1, because there's more to come after this whole thing. But we have to wait and see what happens next in the next episode. So anyway, that's pretty much the entire video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.